Hey everybody, Dan here with Fin Feather for Outfitters. Today we're looking at 3 excellent discontinued CZ handguns. You're going to ask, why in the world did they discontinue that model? I'm going to give you my thoughts as well as give a description on each one which explains why they were so excellent to begin with. So let's do it. Let's start with the CZ SP1 Phantom. When CZ released this in 2013, they wanted to get in on that polymer craze that everybody was seeking at a lower price because the full-size SP1 with the all-steel frame was so popular, they wanted to get in with a polymer model and make it less expensive. And they did that with the SP1 Phantom. Has 18-round magazines, a much lighter handgun, as I mentioned, polymer, but the same characteristics as the original SP1 with a steel frame. Much lighter, obviously. This is a BD model. It has a decocker right there that moves the hammer to quarter cock, but an excellent shooting handgun with that CZ75 trigger that so many people love, and I love it, and I love this model. It's such a nice shooting handgun. Now, why did they discontinue it? Well, I think they did because they are competing against themselves with the CZP09 model. It's the same essential barrel length, 3.7, with this, the same type of polymer frame, hammer-fired handgun that the CZP09 offered. And so that's my thought. I think that it didn't sell as well because if it did, it would still be around today, and they really pushed the P09 series now with the Nocturne models, and that was their forethought prior to discontinuing that. Next is the CZ2075 Ramy. This was always a hard-to-find handgun. People who own these love them, and they say they'll never get rid of them. For the longest time, this was CZ's smallest handgun. It has a 3-inch barrel. It has an aluminum frame. It has night sights standard. This has luminescent sights. All right, this has night sights standard and a 10 and 14 round magazine. It is the type of handgun that is subcompact, but you get that full-size feel and accuracy when shooting it with that beautiful CZ75 trigger action. Why did they discontinue it? Well, I think it was because of import issues. Why do I think it was import issues? Well, they were hardly seen at your local gun store. And if you saw one and you said, I want to think about this and come back tomorrow, it was gone. There's no doubt about it. It was gone. People ate these up. And CZ came out with the P10M, which is a little bit smaller and lighter. And I think that was the goal there, to replace it with something that was less expensive. This would sell right around $800. And people said, I want it, I can't find it, and then next thing you know, it's discontinued. So it's a great shooting handgun. Everybody who owns it will testify to that, and yet CZ discontinued it. That really shocked a lot of people. But equally as shocking was when CZ discontinued their 45 model called the 97. And in this case, BD, because this is also a decocker. All 3 of these have the BD, firing pin block and decocker. But let's hone in on this one, because if there's ever a 45 ACP handgun that models the CZ Shadow 2, this is it. It has a 4.65 inch barrel, beautiful sight picture. It has everything except optics ready, and when this was around, nobody really cared too much about that. Aluminum grips that are black, a all steel frame. It's identical to the CZ Shadow 2, but in 45 ACP. A couple things that set it apart. Well, because it's 45, it has 2 10-round magazines it ships with. Well, it shipped past tense. And it has this barrel bushing right here. Now, this barrel bushing screws off. What's the purpose of that? Well, it keeps the barrel nice and tight as a barrel bushing does, but this actually screws off. They give you a wrench in the case, but this thing just fires like a dream. You see that silver dot right there? That's a loaded chamber indicator. That will raise up a little bit. It has top strap, serrations right there, fiber optic front sight. Many of these came with night sights. This one didn't. But that single action trigger is super nice. Shadow 2, I'm telling you, with the reset right there. Why did they discontinue it? Well, when CZ partnered with Colt, Colt had so many 45 ACPs. This could have been a victim of import issues as well. But many people will say, especially the owners of this is the best shooting 45 ACP in today's market. Outside of 1911s, I have to specify that, being a huge 1911 fan. But this thing is just a phenomenal shooting handgun. It is expensive, or it was. Once again, past tense. It was very expensive, and perhaps it was always one of those handguns that people said, one day I'm going to get it, and then they never did, and perhaps it wasn't selling as well as CZ had anticipated. And then with Colt and everything, they just said, let's get rid of it and focus on the Colt 1911s and 45 ACP. Those are my thoughts. These are 3 that I own. I'm glad to own them. Good luck getting them. The price raised up quite a bit, especially with the Ramy and the 97 BD. But that thing is staying in my possession because love the way all 3 of these shoot. Once again, Dan here with Fin Feather Fur Outfitters. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.